this up. We've all paid our dues. Did you think it was all for you? Our fear keeps us divided, but they'll always win until we're united. I won't paint aboard a sinking ship, controlled remotely from a safe distance. One place your bets on if we live or die. The scales, they shift more in your favor, and you might think there's not much we can do. You have all the capital, but we've got the numbers. Now we have a voice, and we won't run away. Yeah, we won't run away. We won't run away. Yeah, we got the numbers. Now we have a voice, and we won't run away.
The following is rated TV MA and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Yeah, what's up, people? Talk radio. Thursday night. Yeah. And I had to make sure the mic was on. Like, I looked down, I said, oh, it's muted, I better unmute it. So I unmuted it real quick. Because I want to be kind of on. I want to be on tonight, you know. I don't want to, like, slack on this stuff. Because what fun's that? Okay? So, start off with my regular Thursday night, Time Warp Thursday, Season 2, Episode 30. It's like getting in there, getting more and more episodes, and today is February 20th, 2025, and that's 13.97% through the year of 2025, and I'm burping. Excuse me, I just had a drink, okay? I just had a drink of Monster and burp. So we're 7 weeks and 2 days into the year, which is 51 days total, and that's 1,224 hours, and that's 73,440 minutes, and 4,406,400 seconds. So we're getting through the year. And starting in March, as you'll see scrolling on the bottom right now, March 5th, I have my guest James Gebhart. March 7th, our guest Hollywood Capone. March 14th, our guest James Buckman. Those are my first 3 guests for talk radio. Lined up already. They confirmed. They said they'll do it, and I'll have them on the show. So March 5th, March 7th, March 14th. And there'll be others coming in as I continue to talk to these people. So right now it's just me. Like I say, it's kind of a boring thing right now just with me. But in the future, a couple weeks from now, we'll have some guests, and it'll be a little more interesting for you all to watch. And as you see on the chat, all the Dandy World people are kind of like over here just chatting away like crazy. I hope they all behave themselves. This ain't Dandy's World. So don't act like maniacs, okay? So, yeah. And then also purchasing some Girl Scout cookies. You see that scrolling right now on the bottom? Link is in the description. Girl Scout cookies. It's that time of year. The Girl Scout cookie time. So buy them cookies, eat them cookies, like them cookies, and have some fun with those cookies. And then buy more. Just keep on buying, you know. Check out the link in the description and just buy away.
Cookies sales are only once a year, so buy some to snack on now and stock up so you're good for the whole year so you don't run out before the next one.
Right, why is this for mature audiences only? Because, Jaden, sometimes language will come out, you know, like shit or damn or hell. You know, family friendly is not really shit, damn, hell, blah, blah, blah. And then like tonight is a night of mystery and like aliens and ghosts and different little, that's what Time Warp Thursday is.
Tonight is all about murders and serial killers.
Tonight's about murders. Unsolved murders in history. Okay. I'm only going to talk about a couple because, you know, there's so many dang unsolved murders in the world, in the history of the world, that like I can't talk about them all at one time. All right.
No, but you can pick a couple on each episode.
But anyways,
I know you do.
but yes, it's intended for mature audience because sometimes languages, sometimes content, you know, could be for mature audiences only. People who can handle it without acting like children and, you know, being crazy. And with the folks watching right on YouTube chatting right now, you know, they can be pretty stubborn and like pains in the butts.
Also, hello,
But-
Jaden.
But I also want them to know that I can mute them on this show too. So, you know, just be warned.
I like how you ignore me saying hi to me.
Yeah, Jaden, Freya said hi. Yeah, the wife said hi. Anyways,
I lay down, I go night. I got 88 cases of cookies to pick up in the morning.
yes, you got 88 cases of cookies to pick up in the morning. Yes, get some rest. Anyways, as I was
I'll bring it.
saying, so yes. Oh, and then on the bottom there, right now, GoFundMe fundraising to help me build my business, my company, Pro Rules Entertainment. Help me get more equipment, better equipment, you know, better lighting for the screen thing. Try to get it to where I can get the screen up all the time instead of taking it down every night, putting it back up every night. It's that gets to be a pain in the butt, but you know, yeah. As Freya said, buy a house.
Oh, you heard that? I
Yeah,
didn't think you actually heard that.
I I hear everything. I hear everything and I see everything. Jaden, Caden, Mia. I see and I hear everything.
Oh, they're all in there?
Yeah.
Hi, all three of you. I didn't know that Caden and Mia were on there too.
Yes.
Oh.
All three of the little troublemakers are on here.
Hey, but they're
But
fun.
that's okay.
They're fun troublemakers.
If they want to show support and watch my talk radio, which is not Dandy's World, it's not the game, it's a show that is part of my business, part of my company, Crow Rules Entertainment. And as I say, tonight is all about the weird, strange things in the world, like urban legends and myths and aliens and ghosts and Bigfoot and, you know, unsolved murders and the weird things in the world.
That's
Witchcraft.
what Thursdays are going to be.
Yes, Thursdays are going to be that weird
This
type.
one's specifically focusing on murders.
Yes. I will be talking about at least 2 unsolved murders tonight. But future episodes, we'll talk about
So
other
you
things,
think.
you know. Huh?
Or so they think. Dum, dum, dum.
Dum, 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 unless Freya kills me. Anyways,
He almost got murdered earlier.
moving
He was
forward.
gonna kick me off the bed.
Moving forward. I got 1 viewer on Twitch. It says 1 viewer on YouTube, but I got three YouTubers chatting right now. So I think the numbers are a little off on the counts, but I don't know. But I'm gonna keep the count thing up there just because I like watching it. I like seeing the numbers up there and like stuff like that. So, but in personal news for just kind of today, personal news, not much to talk about. Nothing personally going on right now, except Girl Scout cookies. And that whole mess starts tomorrow when we have to go get Girl Scout cookies and get ready to sell them. Oh, yeah, Freya has to. I don't have to help.
You don't have to deal with all the extra stress.
I don't have to help her, nothing. I can just chill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, technically you can.
Anyways, something personal is me fighting Jaden. Yes, Mia, you and Jaden always fighting. That's okay.
Kiss butt. Kiss butt. Make Jaden the next unsolved murder.
Make
As
Jaden
you
the
know,
next.
we would know it was Mia.
Make Jaden the next unsolved murder. What the
It
hell?
would be Mia.
Come on
It
now.
would be Mia.
Come on, children. Let's all just start being behave and you know.
I'm teasing
Let
her
Riley
all the
talk.
time.
Let Riley Radio have the floor
We'll
or
get
the screen,
down to business.
whatever. I'm talking about the personal news, but it ain't much except Girl Scout cookies and stuff. And like,
Move on to the murder. Don't want to hear about the murder.
be quiet.
Oh hell. No.
Remember to like, share, follow, subscribe, do all those things, you know. To I want to grow this channel. I want to get more viewers. I want to get more subscribers. You know, I need to get. My goal is to get 500 subscribers by summertime. I'm at 222 right now. 222. Okay. And then I want to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. So we'll see what happens with that. Hoping with some guests coming on, they bring some viewers to watch as well, like their friends and family and stuff that they share on their social media or wherever. And I think it's going to be fun to have these guests coming on the show. So again, remember, March 5th, got James Gebhardt. And then March 7th, we'll have Hollywood Capone. And then on March 14th is James Buckman. So those are the 3 guest stars so far. And getting more coming through too. I'm chatting with people, trying to get more guests. So we'll start being able to have some more interesting shows with actual talking with guests, not just myself, not the person behind the green screen, and and all that stuff. So it'll be interesting. Now tomorrow is Friday, so earlier in the day, about 3 o'clock tomorrow, depending on what's happening, 3 or 4.
It might be a little late because you might be carrying cases of
Might be a little late, might be 4 o'clock, but I'll start doing Dandy's World Live up until about 9 o'clock or so. And then finally Friday talk radio tomorrow night. and then Saturday and Sunday, Dandy's World. So, a lot going on in the next couple days, okay? And let's see, business-wise, like I say, I'm working on getting more guests, and I got the 3 confirmed so far. I work on the website and update the website every night before I go to bed. After the show, I always go and update my website a little bit, and kind of just work on the website a little bit. New like from Nancy Armstrong. Thank you, Mom. My mama always watches me. Every night, my mama be watching my show. And then she probably see the chat with these children that's acting all crazy over here. But that's okay.
Murder.
They support me in their own little way.
Murder.
And Freya's back here, murders.
I've been actively waiting all day to hear about murder.
But business, like I say, I update the website every night before bed. I keep wanting people to go to my Crow Rose Entertainment website and become a member of the website to build a community over there. And you can post in the forums, post in the groups, watch my live streams, watch past live streams, any other shows I do, like D&J Show Season 3, when I start getting that going. That will be on the website as well, and on Riley Radio YouTube, but still. But yeah, build a little community over on Crow Rose Entertainment's website, you know what I'm saying? Just to get some conversation going, people showing support. You don't have to purchase anything. You just go there to show support and be part of the community of my business as I build it and grow and grow and grow and grow. And then y'all can be there when I'm more successful and say, I remember when he was like not successful and he was like a loser and stuff. I remember those days. Those were the days, okay? So, you know, if anybody wants to, you can go join over on Crow Rose Entertainment, sign up to be a member, and then you can chat on the forums, the groups, watch the live streams, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Okay. That was so dorky, crazy. So, as I talk about, you know, murder stuff, let's see. I have to open my browser to read the stuff because it's on the browser. So if you see me like looking down, or if my face gets really, really bright, it's from the browser being all bright white. Okay? So, okay, first off, everybody knows Jack the Ripper, correct? Jack the Ripper killed all the prostitutes in England back in the 1800s, and they never figured out who was Jack the Ripper. His identity was like never solved. But on this thing here from the New York Post, it says Jack the Ripper's identity revealed after DNA breakthrough. And then it goes into the story. One of history's oldest mysteries, the true identity of mythologized, however you say that. I'm not the best speaker, okay. 19th century serial killer Jack the Ripper may have finally been solved nearly 140 years later. English historian and author Russell Edwards said DNA found on a shawl recovered from the scene of one of the killer's vicious slayings was tested, revealing the butcher who terrorized Victoria's London's East End in the late 1800s was a 23-year-old Polish immigrant named Aaron Kosminski, who died in a mental institution in 1919. And then it says, when we matched the DNA from the blood on the shawl with a direct female descendant of the victim, it was the singular most amazing moment of my life at the time, Edwards told Today in Australia. Okay. We tested the semen left on the shawl. When we matched that, I was dumbfounded that we actually had discovered who Jack the Ripper truly was. Jack the Ripper brutally raped and eviscerated 5 women, most of them sex workers, in and around the city's impoverished Whitechapel district between 1888 and 1891. Though historians suspect the death toll was higher, the victims were Mary Nichols, 43, Annie Chapman, 47, Elizabeth Stride, 44, Catherine Eddowes, 46, and Mary Jane Kelly, 25. 3 of them had their internal organs removed. Creepy. After learning the shawl had been found at the scene of Eddowes' gruesome killing, Edwards purchased it in 2007. It was a voyage of discovery with many twists and turns, Edwards said. The adventure was thrilling from beginning to end, and I was lucky to experience it. Relatives of the 5 known victims have pushed Scotland Yard to take a fresh look at the 137-year-old cold case. We have got the proof now. We need this inquest to legally name the killer, Edwards told Today in Australia. It would mean a lot to me, to my family, to a lot of people, to finally have this crime solved. Kosminski moved to England as a child and worked as a barber in Whitechapel, Edwards learned. He started showing symptoms of mental illness in 1885 and had been committed to a number of insane asylums. Before his death at the age of 53, Kosminski reported having auditory hallucinations. He feared other people, refused to eat, and also would not bathe, according to Edwards. Several online skeptics have questioned Edwards' findings, however, pointing to allegations he faked finding the top of a child's skull in 2022, sparking a new police search for the body of Keith Bennett. The high-profile Moors murders were a series of 5 child killings between 1963 and 1965, carried out by a depraved couple, Ian Brady and Myra Henley, in Manchester, England. Bennett's body marks the last remaining victim never to have been found. See, it went into a little bit of some other murders at the end of that little rant. But
what do y'all think about the possibility that they've solved who Jack the Ripper is?
Okay, now if you didn't hear it, Freya, what do y'all think of them saying they found who Jack the Ripper was? Do you believe that they could have possibly found Jack the Ripper and saying it's Aaron Kosminski, who was like a mentally ill person? Which, if I believe, he was one of the suspects all along anyways. They always had him on kind of a suspect list. But, with DNA from a shawl that's like over 100 years old, I don't know if it's like, unless they kept that shawl in like pristine condition.
If it was an evidence, maybe.
It could have been like
Kept an evidence.
Yeah. But, I mean, you never know. You never know with these things, because it's always fun to, like, think, okay, they solved it. But then in the other side, maybe they didn't. Who knows? I mean, it's 130-some years ago. And whoever Jack the Ripper was, but wasn't he dead no matter what anyways? So you can't do anything. You can't, like, prosecute him and put him in jail because he dead. And if he was whoever Jack the Ripper was, they dead. They probably serving time anyways down in hell, and just serving time in the prison of hell. So yeah, just if you watch this live or if you watch this later, comment and share your thoughts of this whole Jack the Ripper thing. If it's a possibility that the Aaron Kosminski was Jack the Ripper, or if you think anybody else could have possibly been Jack the Ripper. I like having opinions and I like having people's thoughts. That way, even if I'm not live and you comment, I can read it later and just kind of be like, okay, makes sense. Okay. But then we'll go to the second um, unsolved murder in the history of the world. And this one, I always heard about it growing up and stuff too. And it's the Black Dahlia. And it says the 1947 murder of a 22-year-old Hollywood hopeful in Los Angeles has never been solved. On the morning of January 15th, 1947, a mother taking her child for a walk in a Los Angeles neighborhood stumbled upon a gruesome sight: the body of a young naked woman sliced clean in half at the waist. That would be weird to go walking down the street and see some dead chick sliced in half at the waist. I'd probably throw up or something. The body was just a few feet from the sidewalk and posed in such a way that the mother reportedly thought it was a mannequin at first. Despite the extensive mutilation and cuts on the body, there wasn't a drop of blood at the scene, indicating that the young woman had been killed elsewhere. The ensuing investigation was led by the LA Police Department. The FBI was asked to help, and it quickly identified the body, just 56 minutes, in fact, after getting blurred fingerprints via sound photo, a primitive fax machine used by news services from Los Angeles. The young woman turned out to be a 22-year-old Hollywood hopeful named Elizabeth Short, later dubbed the Black Dahlia by the press for her rumored penchant for sheer black clothes and for the Blue Dahlia movie out at that time. Short's prints actually appeared twice in the FBI's massive collection. More than 100 million were on file at the time. First, she had applied for a job as a clerk at the commissary of the Army's Camp Cook in California in January 1943. Second, she had been arrested by the Santa Barbara police for underage drinking 7 months later. The Bureau also had her mugshot in its files and provided it to the press. In support of LA police, the FBI ran records checks on potential suspects and conducted interviews across the nation, based on early suspicions that the murderer may have had skills in dissection because the body was so cleanly cut. Cleanly cut. Say that fast 3 times. Agents were also asked to check out a group of students at the University of Southern California Medical School. And in a tantalizing potential break in the case, the Bureau searched for a match to fingerprints found on an anonymous letter that may have been sent to authorities by the killer. But the prints weren't in FBI files. Who killed the Black Dahlia and why? It's a mystery. The murderer has never been found, and given how much time has passed, probably never will be. The legend grows. So the legend grows on the Black Dahlia because nobody has ever found the killer for the Black Dahlia as well. Do we have to go 130 years before they find that one too? I mean, that's kind of crazy. But the freakiest part on that one to me is the being cut in half at the waist. Like her legs are on one side of the sidewalk, her upper body's on the other side. And there's no blood. How the heck is there no blood? Like, they killed her somewhere else and then drove her over and threw her out of the car in pieces. That side go over there, that side go over there.
No, he didn't throw her out of the car. He actually posed her body.
Well, yeah, he posed her body, but
Or whoever did it posed her body.
Yeah, posed the body to look like a mannequin or something. It's weird. Just some of these stories of murders in the past and just the way people would go about killing people, like, you know, it's crazy. Like Jack the Ripper taking organs out of the ladies he killed. Black Dahlia cut in half. I mean, clean in half. It was just, wow, it's just kind of crazy, man. But, you know, that's kind of just how things happen, you know, it's kind of weird. Excuse me, I had to burp. So that's the 2 murders kind of I was mainly going to talk about because those are the 2 that I remember the most. but there's also like other kind of like murders, like trying to think, like the movies, the Amityville Horror. If you ever seen those were based on murders in a house that people say were haunted, and like the son went home and killed his family and stuff, and he said he heard voices and blah blah blah. Yeah, you heard voices because you crazy. Do what? It was Jaden. No, Jaden not old enough to be doing murders back then. Because that was back in, I think, the Amityville Horror, the true like murders that happened. I believe it was like in the 70s or something like that. I'm not totally sure. I didn't read up on that. It just came to mind talking about murders and stuff like that. So Amityville Horror was based on a true story of a dude that went home and killed his family and said he heard voices. What's he? Cause you crazy, homie. So that's what Thursday, Time Warp Thursday is all about. Just stuff like this, and then like all the other weird things in this world that we can talk about. And as I find guests to be on Thursday nights, they will be people that can talk about ghosts and aliens and blah 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 blah, murders and blah blah blah, all those different little weird things of the world. As you see, the guests I got so far, one's Wednesday and two are on Fridays. So, and Wednesday and Friday is usually my talk about whatever nights. Monday and Tuesday is all about bettering yourself, motivation, and transformative stuff, and just bettering your life and bettering other people's lives, and blah blah blah. And then Thursday is this. Yeah, the crazy talk. Okay. And I just find this stuff interesting because it's just interesting. Like I've been teasing the past little bit about, do aliens exist? And I say, yes, Elon Musk. I mean, look at that boy. He looked like an alien. It's just, I think
Donald Trump.
I think Elon Musk is the leader of the aliens on this planet. He came down and brought his minions with him. And,
He did. Look at what he created.
Well, yeah, because Elon Musk is all about space and, like, flying cars and different things.
Starlink and stuff.
Yeah.
He created a space force.
All this space stuff. I think he an alien. He came down to, like, run our world.
It's not even about NASA no more. It's about Elon Musk.
Yeah, it's about freaking Elon Musk, richest man in the world. I swear to God, man, that boy needs to give me like just one day
of his pay.
One day of his pay, and I'd be a happy camper for a little bit. He should donate to my GoFundMe, man. Jeez.
He should buy Girl Scout.
He should buy a Girl Scout cookie, like 60,000 cases or something. And he'd be like hanging out with Donald Trump all the time, and Donald Trump wants to be Mr. President that's going to change everything. Whatever. You ain't changing nothing except the Gulf of America.
I can't believe he did. Yeah, but that's politics.
I mean, one thing Donald Trump is working on, I'm kind of happy about. One thing Donald Trump's doing is the daylight savings time thing. He's wanting to get rid of that so we don't have to like move the clocks back and forth and stuff. I get tired of doing that crap. I'd rather just stay on one time, just don't worry about moving forward and backing down from the I've always got annoyed with that. But that's my opinion.
The only good thing
but but it's just funny that you see Donald Trump, and most likely you're going to see Elon Musk next to him or near him because they be like working together or something. So Donald Trump working with aliens.
He's working with aliens, yet he wants to tighten border security against aliens on Earth.
Yeah, he's working with aliens and wants to tighten so illegal immigrants from other countries can't come. Those kind of aliens. It's stupid. And then let's see what else.
More murder.
What more murder? What else can we talk about? What, the Ted Bundy murders? Those are unsolved. Ted Bundy was caught and like killed and all that stuff. Let's see. I'm not sure, like the Zodiac killer. I don't know if they ever caught the Zodiac killer. I don't know if he's been like identified or whatever. I don't remember if they found out who he was or not. Thinking back, I think they might have, but I'm not sure. And then there was then there was Freya. She tried to kill me last night. She was like punch me in the head. She was like, boy. And I just kind of I like getting hit. It's fun. So yeah, all you guys watching, you know, I like to chat and everything. Even though right now it's Jaden, Caden, and Mia just kind of talk about weird stuff. See, and as long as I name them once in a while, like Jaden, he'll talk. Once I say his name, he pop up with some kind of chat. He like having his name said on my show. Is Rye high? No, I'm not high. I'm happy and in a good mood, and enjoying my show here, and preparing myself for the guests in the near future. Because the guests are going to be fun to kind of talk to. And I've changed up my guests when I have guests on and stuff. I've kind of changed up a few of the screens. I've kind of played around a little bit on the screens of this thing. So here's one. If I'm having a one-on-one interview with someone, I go to the screen here, and here I am, and the guest will be over there. Okay, so that's the first screen there, and then after that, we got like a 3-person screen. I can have 2 guests, and then we got this one where I can have 3 guests, and the next one is like just overboard because I can have like a party up on here. Okay, because I can have up to 11 guests. You know what I'm saying? So the next one, I go here and be like, have a whole bunch of people, and be like a party and just kind of blabbing about whatever we want to talk about. And on nights like Wednesdays and Fridays, where it's just random nights of talking, you can just talk about whatever, and have so many people on here just be like blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be kind of funny. So it could work, and I think I might try a big party night where I can maybe try to get a bunch of people and have them join and just be blabbing away for an hour. Who knows what the future holds for talk radio. Haha. Back to this screen though, my main screen, the live screen. And now we got Fibble the Fishbowl. Another one that, Dandy's World. Strange conversations with some of these folks are like, you get some strange conversations. But it's all good. You gotta love them because they view my channel and they show support to Rye. They call me Rye, Rye, die. They always be saying that stuff, It's just funny. But I mean, I like the support. I like the views. I like the people wanting to view and show support. I'm gonna snap everyone's neck. Okay, Caden. See, these folks are a little bit ornery and obnoxious. Kind of like the wife Freya. She's kind of ornery and
What?
obnoxious. Ornery and obnoxious.
I am not ornery of an auction.
Yes, you are.
That's just disrespectful, yo.
But yes, so talk radio. If you see chat from these fellas, Caden, Jaden, Mia,
Okay,
you tend to get some weird stuff. But that's okay. Yeah, it's all about fun. And yes, Freya. She was gonna speak, and now she stopped talking. Anyways, 11:37. We are 23 minutes away from the end of the show. I've talked about 2 unsolved murder mysteries, and then we talked about we did a little random little stuff about what?
I got one I can read to you.
You got one you could read to me?
An unsolved murder.
Okay.
It's it's about Cynthia Anderson. It's called The Disappearance of Cynthia Anderson. This is a legal secretary disappears after having dreams of being abducted. In 1980, 20-year-old Cindy Anderson of Toledo, Ohio, was plagued by a series of frightening dreams. In one episode, the acquaintance she lets in the door betrays her trust. Cindy's sister, Christine Savage, heard her sister talking about the dreams. One morning while I was getting ready for work, I overheard Cindy talking to my mother. I do believe that the dreams could have been a premonition of fears that Cindy actually had in her subconscious at the time. On August 4th, 1981, Cindy went to work as usual. She was employed as a legal secretary and in the mornings usually worked in the office alone. She kept the door locked at all times. A buzzer had even been installed at her desk so that she could alert the shop next door if there was trouble. One day at noon, Jim Rabbit and Jay Fieldstein, 2 of the lawyers, arrived back at their office after a meeting. According to Jim Rabbit, Jay and I came back from downtown, got to the door, and the lights were on. The door was locked. We unlocked the door, went inside, yelled for Cindy, and there was no answer. I started to look around out front. Cindy, when she would leave, would place the phones on hold, and that wasn't done either. Jim Rabbit said that Cindy had left her romance novel open to the only violent scene in the book, where the heroine is abducted at knife point. It wasn't until really looking at the book, particularly reading the passage in the novel, that I had a sickening feeling that something was wrong. Cindy was never seen again. There was no body, no farewell letter, no hint where she had gone or why she had disappeared. Were Cindy's dreams premonitions of a terrible fate, or were they just a coincidence? Cindy was raised in a strict religious environment. Her family, boyfriend, and most of her social circle were all devout Christian fundamentalists. Cindy's father, Michael Anderson, said, She was a very quiet, obedient type of girl. She never made waves with either myself or her mother. And she had lots of friends. She was the type of daughter that you just enjoy. I mean, just a beautiful young girl. Cindy's sister had no idea why she might leave on her own. At the time of Cindy's disappearance, there were no circumstances in her life that any of us were aware of that would have caused her to have run away. She was looking forward to quitting her job in 2 weeks and going to a Bible college that she would attend with her boyfriend. She was very excited about it. Cynthia's dad said he noticed a change in his daughter's behavior. He says, just before she disappeared, however, she was becoming like a debutante. She was spending a lot of time on her face and herself, and she'd skip breakfast for this reason, and that may be part of the problem. The day Cindy vanished, the police immediately began a search for clues. Cindy's car keys and purse were missing, but the office was undisturbed, and according to Toledo Police Detective William Adams, there were no signs of a struggle. Her car was parked in front of the law office. Her bank account, which had a nice, substantial amount of money, was never touched. Her social security number was never shown up under any other workplace. It's a complete mystery how and why Cindy disappeared. Larry Mullins was a client of the law office where Cindy worked and says, the day before Cindy Anderson disappeared, I had been in the law offices to pay off a legal fee. She got a phone call. She kind of reacted like maybe it was obscene or something and hung up real quick. And the look on her face, still, I can picture it today. She was scared. She was honestly and sincerely scared. It gives me shivers to think of the look on her face. I went home and I called the police department and asked them to do a drive-by and check on her. Something scared the hell out of her, in my opinion. In September 1981, a month after Cindy vanished, another strange phone call gave police a new lead. According to Detective Adams, a woman called to report that Cindy was being held in the basement of a White House. She said that she was scared and she was talking in low whispers. She kept saying she had to go. I kept begging her to stay on the line, give me more information, give me an exact address, something that we could act on. A short while later, she again called. The lady mentioned that there were 2 houses side by side owned by the same family, and that the family was out of town, but their son was home, and he was the party that was holding Cindy in the basement. We did check street after street on the north end to see if we could find 2 houses side by side. There's many, but you can't find any positive location to the house. Michael Anderson has wondered if his daughter isn't living somewhere with amnesia. If she herself is out there, we want her to know that we love her and we certainly want her back. Want her to come back, whatever the case may be. The door is open. We certainly want anybody and everybody that could possibly help in this situation to do so. After Cindy's disappearance, a local grand jury indicted 9 people for drug trafficking. Some suspect that Cindy knew one of them and she was killed after she overheard incriminating comments. No charges were ever filed to this day. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you think she could have been killed because of that? Do you think she's off living somewhere? There's one comment that somebody posted back in 2024 and said, I think perhaps she might have went into witness protection due to a criminal case she might have been helping the feds out with, and she changed her identity and can't return to her family or even let them know she's alive because it would put them in danger.
Could be kidnapped and just,
Well, obviously, she got a phone call that spooked her. But what do you guys think about? Not only did she just completely vanish like this, but that she had dreams that she was being abducted at knife point before she disappeared.
James said, now come on, Mia, I'll start with the gun and the rope to kidnap you. But yeah, I mean, she could have been kidnapped and just kind of had some paranormal dreams that showed her that she was going to be kidnapped or something, and she wasn't able to stop it, or she's on the run somewhere hiding, witness protection program, or just off running and hiding. Mia said, I feel bad that it happened. So, these things are interesting and all that stuff. And hopefully you heard Freya okay. I mean, it's kind of, she's more further away from the microphone, but she talks a little louder than I do sometimes. So you probably heard.
I talked on purpose.
Yeah. I can get her on my show sometimes, just her voice without video, and she could read the stuff. She can be my story reader sometimes if need be, because I don't read that well. Okay, and I can't. Sometimes, if it's small print, I can't see it. I gotta wear my glasses and stuff.
I'm good at reading.
I'm blind. Okay.
There's also an unsolved quadruple homicide.
Quadruple homicide.
Mm-hmm. I can read that one.
You could. We got 14 minutes left.
Exactly, and I can blab.
Yeah, you could blab too.
I'm your like guest behind the scenes.
Yeah.
This is a quadruple homicide. Says the Keddy murders are an unsolved quadruple homicide that occurred over the night of April 11th through 12th, 1981 in Keddy, California, United States. The victims were Glenna Susan Sue Sharp, daughter Tina Louise Sharp, son John Stephen Sharp, and John's friend Dana Hall Wingate. The murders took place in house number 28 of the Keddy Resort. The bodies of Wingate, Sue, and John Sharp were found on the morning of April 12th by Sue's 14-year-old daughter, Sheila, who had been sleeping at a friend's house. Sue's two younger sons, Rick and Greg, as well as their friend, Justin Smart, were also in the house, but were unharmed. Tina was missing from the scene. Tina remained a missing person until April 1984, when her skull and several other bones were recovered at Camp 18 near Feather Falls in Butte County, about 62 miles away from Keddy. Multiple leads and suspects were examined in the intervening years, but no charges have ever been filed. Several new leads were announced in the 21st century, including the discovery of a hammer in a pond in 2016 and the discovery of new DNA evidence. Background. It says, in July 1979, Glenna Susan, aka Sue Sharp, along with her 5 children, left her home in Connecticut after separating from her husband, James Sharp. They relocated to Northern California, where Sue's brother Don lived. Upon arriving in California, she rented a small trailer formerly occupied by her brother in the Claremont Trailer Village in Quincy. The following fall, she moved to house number 28 in the rural Sierra Nevada railroad town of Keddy. The house was much larger than the trailer and had become available when Plumas County's Sheriff Sylvester Douglas Thomas vacated the property. She resided there with her 15-year-old son, John, 14-year-old daughter, Sheila, 12-year-old daughter, Tina, and 2 younger sons, Rick, age 10, and Greg, age 5. On April 11, 1981, at around 11:30 a.m., Sue, Sheila, and Greg drove from the residence of their friends, the Meeks family, to retrieve Rick, who was attending baseball tryouts in Quincy. They happened upon John and his friend Dana Hall Wingate hitchhiking at the mouth of the canyon from Quincy to Keddy, and then drove them about 6 miles away to Keddy. 2 hours later, at around 3:30 p.m., John and Dana hitchhiked back to Quincy, where they may have had plans to visit friends. Around this time, the boys were seen in the city's downtown area. That same evening, Sheila had plans to spend the night with the Seabolt family, who lived in adjacent number 27, while Sue remained at home with Rick, Greg, and the boys' young friend Justin Smart. Sheila departed house 28 shortly after 8 p.m. to sleep with the Seabolts. Tina, who had been watching television at the Seabolt residence, returned home after asking what time it was at 9:30. At approximately 8 a.m. on the morning of April 12th, Sheila returned to number 28 and discovered the dead bodies of Sue, John, and Dana in the house's living room. All 3 had been bound with medical tape and electrical cords. Tina was absent from the home, while the 3 younger children, Rick, Greg, and Justin, were found physically unharmed in an adjacent bedroom. Upon discovering the scene, Sheila rushed back to the Seabolt's house and Jamie Seabolt retrieved Rick, Greg, and Justin through the bedroom window. He later admitted to having briefly entered the home through the back door to see if anyone was still alive, potentially contaminating evidence in the process. The murders of Sue, John, and Dana were especially vicious. 2 bloodied knives and 1 hammer were found at the scene. Blood spatter evidence from inside the house indicated that the murders had all taken place in the living room. Sue was discovered lying on her side near the living room sofa, nude from the waist down and gagged with a blue bandana and her own underwear, which had been secured with tape. She had been stabbed in the chest and her throat was stabbed horizontally, the wound passing through her larynx and nicking her spine. Jeez, all the way to her spine. And on the side of her head was an imprint matching the butt of a Daisy 880 Powerline BB pellet rifle. John's throat was slashed. Dana had multiple head injuries and had been manually strangled to death. John and Dana suffered blunt force trauma to their heads caused by 1 or more hammers. Autopsies determined that Sue and John died from the knife wounds and blunt force trauma, and Dana died from asphyxiation. Sheila and the Seabolt family, with whom Sheila had spent the night in the neighboring home, heard no commotion during the night. A couple living in nearby house number 16 was awakened at 1:15 a.m. by what sounded like muffled screaming. Justin's stepfather, Martin Smart, a neighbor and main suspect, claimed that a claw hammer had inexplicably gone missing from his home. In addition to interviewing the Smarts, detectives interviewed numerous other locals and neighbors. Several, including members of the Seabolt family, recalled seeing a green van parked at the Sharps' house at around 9 p.m. Justin offered conflicting stories of the evening and stated that he had dreamed details of the murders. In his later account of events, told under hypnosis, he claimed to have seen Sue with 2 men. Based on Justin's descriptions, composite sketches of the 2 unknown men were produced by Harlan Embry, a man with no artistic ability and no training in forensic sketching. It was never explained why, with access to the Justice Department and the FBI's top forensic artists, law enforcement chose to use an amateur who sometimes volunteered to help local police. In press releases accompanying the sketches, the suspects were described as in their late 20s to early 30s. One stood between 5 foot 11 inches to 6 feet 2 inches tall with dark blonde hair, and the other between 5 foot 6 and 5 foot 10 with black greased hair. Both wore gold-framed sunglasses. Rumors regarding the crimes being ritualistic or motivated by drug trafficking were dismissed by the Plumas County Sheriff, Doug Thomas, who stated in the week following the murders that neither drug paraphernalia nor illegal drugs were found in the home. Tina's disappearance was initially investigated by the FBI as a possible abduction, although it was reported on April 29, 1981, that the FBI had backed off the search as the California State Department of Justice was doing an adequate, in parentheses, job and made the FBI's presence unnecessary. A grid search of the area covered a 5-mile radius around the house and was conducted with police canines, but the efforts were fruitless. On April 11, 1984, a bottle collector discovered the cranium portion of a human skull and part of a mandible at Camp 18 near Feather Falls in neighboring Butte County, roughly 5 miles from Feather Falls, California. The remains were confirmed by a forensic pathologist to be those of Tina in June of 1984. Shortly after announcing the discovery, the Butte County Sheriff's Office received an anonymous call that identified the remains as belonging to Tina, but the call was not documented. A tape containing a recording of the call was found at the bottom of an evidence box at some point after 2013 by a deputy who was assigned to the case. Subsequent developments. The house in which the murders occurred was demolished in 2004. According to a 2016 article published by the Sacramento Bee, Martin Smart had left Keddie and driven to Reno, Nevada shortly after the murders. While there, he sent a letter to his wife Marilyn, ruminating on personal struggles in their marriage, which he concluded by stating, "I've paid the price of your love, and now I've bought it with 4 people's lives." In a 2016 interview, Gamberg stated that the letter was overlooked in the initial investigation and was never admitted as evidence. He later criticized the quality of the initial investigation, saying, "You could take someone just coming out of the academy and they'd have done a better job." A counselor whom Smart regularly visited also alleged that he had admitted to the murders of Sue and Tina, but claimed, "I didn't have anything to do with the boys." He allegedly told the counselor that Tina was killed to prevent her from identifying him, as she had witnessed the whole thing. John Bubetti, another suspect who was in the same neighboring cabin as Smart, allegedly had ties to organized crime in Chicago. He died in 1988. On March 24, 2016, a hammer matching the description of the one Smart had claimed to have lost was discovered in a local pond and taken into evidence by Plumas County Special Investigator Mike Gamberg. Plumas County Sheriff Greg Hagwood, who was 16 years old at the time of the murders and knew the Sharp family, stated, "The location it was found, it would have been intentionally put there. It would not have been accidentally misplaced." Gamberg also stated that at the time, 6 potential suspects were being examined. In April 2018, Gamberg stated that the DNA evidence recovered from a piece of tape at the crime scene matched that of a known living suspect. And that's where it ends. They don't say who the known living suspect is.
It sounds like some Jason Voorhees stuff, like killing people in cabins and stuff. But like 4 people dead, and it's kind of freaky. All the anything that has to do with murdering and like murders and stuff is freaky. Like, I don't want to get murdered. I don't want to be up on the news as some kind of unsolved murder. Somebody killed me and nobody knows who.
I'm going to be on an episode of Snapped one day.
You're going to be on an episode of Snapped one day. Yeah. Hey, some of my viewers are going to be on that show too. So.
Ooh, check that. Perfect timing too. I ended it at 11:58, 11:59.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
So, y'all heard the story that Freya just read, talking about that stuff. You know, if you watch this non-live, and you want to comment about it, feel free to comment about it. Hit the like button, share this video, subscribe.
I'm more than happy to be a backseat co-host on these days and look up stuff, different things, and read them out.
Yeah.
I'm good at finding the more full detailed stories.
Yeah, we can stick you on as like a behind the green screen. Behind the green screen host.
The voice from beyond.
Yes.
Oh yeah, since it's all about mysteries and stuff.
Exactly. That's what I was just thinking.
From beyond.
You don't see.
Addie's person in chair. You're Rhino Die, and I'm the voice from beyond.
Yeah, the voice from beyond can sit behind and just, read stories that have to do with the Thursday topic. Right? Today was kind of murder talk. Unsolved murders and like Jack the Ripper being identified and blah blah blah. And then a couple stories she told us and stuff like that. Now next week, be kind of different topics, talking about different things. And if she wants to look up stuff on her phone and then kind of read it, I'm cool with that.
I will,
but
actually.
On the comments, feel free to voice your opinion on it if you mind the voice from beyond coming once in a while and reading stuff and letting us hear her. But I appreciate you guys for watching and, showing support, even though,
If there's any unsolved murders or like mysteries, whether it's having to do like with murders or somebody disappearing or like cryptids being like Bigfoot, the abominable snowman, which is basically the same thing, chupacabra, like aliens, like any specific case that you guys may want to hear about, comment like on this video or like let us know, and I'll look some stuff up and put together an interesting read for y'all, and I'll read it on one of the future Time Warp Thursday, right? Time Warp?
Yeah, Time Warp Thursdays. Because in future episodes we'll talk about that kind of stuff, like time travel and stuff like that too. Time travel's
Oh yeah, I got some. Oh yeah.
Part about that too. If time travel's real, does it exist? Will it exist if it doesn't already? But
It does. My dad currently is living in the past. My daughter is currently living in the future.
But anyway, it is 12:02, so I am past my ending moment here. So I will close out the show and thank you all for joining me. I'm burping here. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for being loyal viewers. Because the ones that are chatting mostly on here are my loyal viewers from my gaming live, the Dandy's World Live stuff. And they are loyal, and I appreciate them. And now they're popping up on my talk radio talking all kind of crazy stuff. Which, that's okay. But, it's just funny that this ain't the gaming channel. This ain't the gaming live. It's the talk radio live, okay?
Hey, but if they're here and they're enjoying it, that's fine.
Yeah. I hope they're enjoying it. And,
I hope so too, since I did most of the rambling at the end, like a jerk.
I hope y'all come back, continue to watch my show. Tomorrow night will be finally Friday, but I'm going to do some Dandy's World Live before that. So if you want to play Dandy's World with us, join in on the live stream. And then tomorrow night, 11 p.m., talk radio. So roughly 23 hours from now, will be the last talk radio of the week. Closing out the week with finally Friday, going into the weekend. We'll be doing Dandy's World Live stuff over the weekend and just other stuff. And then about 2 weeks, we'll have guests. 2 guests, one on the 5th, one on the 7th. So about 2 weeks from now. And then the other one's March 14th, which is a little bit more ways out, but, it's cool. So stay tuned for all my guests. Stay tuned for future episodes. And just, if you guys think I'm weird when I kind of just act all goofy and stuff, it's just me. I'm a dork. I like to act weird and be goofy and be random and just run at the mouth and just run at the mouth and just run at the mouth. Okay? And that's just how I am. It's not because, like, oh, he high or something. No, I'm not high. Well, I'm high on life, okay? I'm happy to have this show. I'm happy to have this show, and I'm happy to, like, have people viewing. And I'm happy that I'm going to be having some guests coming up in the near future and be able to talk to some people other than myself or Freya or, people I know.
Oh, wow, you don't like talking to me, huh?
No, I like talking to you, but these are like strangers. It's going to be cool to have like strangers on the show and hear their story and just kind of talk about things, So anyways, I will let you guys go for now, and I will see you tomorrow night, 11 p.m. for finally Friday, which is going to be just random talk. Fridays are just the randomness. You can talk about whatever the hell you want, and I can talk about whatever the hell I want, and just kind of have fun. So, I will see you all then. Much love. Remember, like, share, subscribe, follow, all those things. And, keep getting my name out there. Tell your friends about me. Tell your family about me. Have them come watch my show, and maybe I'll gain some fans and gain some more viewers, and you guys have fun watching. Okay? So, peace. See you in 23 hours or so. Somewhere around there.
That's right.
Hmm?